let's move into our first of two meets today.
The meat.
It'd be really bad if we did the Snyder Cut right now and then Winter Soldier. I thought it through. Let's talk about the Winter Soldier.
That's next level thinking.
That's right. We keep it rolling. With MCU, that's a Phase 3 film. We are now in Phase 4. With Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the premiere on Disney Plus last Friday, March 19th. It is the 25th MCU title, and we're going to talk all about it. I'm going to go ahead and give it up right now. I had so much fun with Episode 1. Let's go ahead and say spoiler alert again right now for it, along with, this takes place after Avengers Endgame. So I have to say spoiler alert for really the Infinity Saga, Endgame, and Infinity War. This takes place after that. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Pay it forward, tell someone else, but don't listen anymore because we're going to talk about the ends of those movies.
And we have to correct ourselves after mistaking the timeline last week. We said like 6 weeks. I think you said 6 weeks, and I said 3 months or something like that, but it was 6 months after Endgame is the accurate timeline.
Yes, I'm glad you remembered to correct because I did not remember that. Yes, so it was.
Okay.
It's actually 6 months post Endgame.
I mean, it doesn't affect a lot, but still.
You know what's perfect? I thought I want to do this before I get your gut checks. I just want to do a quick set us up. Like, where is this taking place in the timeline? Where is it dropping us in? Like, if you didn't know that, you're probably coming to the show to find out. And then I want to hear from each of you on how you guys felt about this, just kind of gut reaction. So before we talk about the big stuff, let's set it up. Spoiler alert again. And so Steve Rogers has retired. At the end of Endgame, he's an old man, and he says, I'm done, because he's 100. Like, he's very old. And he has the shield. He gives it to Sam, a.k.a. Falcon, and says, it's yours. And he is saying, you're the next Captain America. Sam, keep in mind, he doesn't have any superpowers, but he is a bona fide superhero in his own right. He's been in so many films. He has been with Captain America for so long, years at this point. He was on on the run team after Civil War. That's like 2 years he's with Captain America on the road. But he has super cool wings, solid fight moves. I love this guy. I've always been a big fan of the character. And then you have Bucky Barnes. So he's a.k.a. the Winter Soldier, a.k.a. Steve Rogers' childhood best friend. But he's also had 50 years of being brainwashed by Hydra and has done many, many, many murders, including the murder of Tony Stark's parents, like we said earlier, until he had a 2-year rest and rehab in Wakanda.
You love this.
Because he had like a little sabbatical. He was like, I'm going to take 2 years. I'm just going to Wakanda. I'm not going to have my arm for
nice
a while.
Little vacation spot, little Wakanda.
They freeze him at the end of.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was frozen for some of it, right?
Yeah, in the end credit scene of, I don't know if I may accidentally skip that, but yeah, one of the end credit scenes in Civil War, Bucky's going under in Wakanda. And I thought, that looks nice. Take a break. Just freeze me.
You know what, guys? I need this.
Why don't you just freeze me for a few months?
Yeah.
How could you imagine being frozen for just the past year? Like what you'd have to catch up on?
I can kind of
Not much.
imagine. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Didn't leave the house.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah, we left the house the same amount of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully whoever would be frozen now would see that it's almost over. I think things are starting to happen again. I'm seeing this horizon. I'm hopeful.
It's there.
Okay, good. I didn't know if it was just me.
Nope, it's there.
Okay, so Bucky chilled in Wakanda again after the events leading up to the events of Infinity War. Now, this is a big part. Both Sam and Bucky got dusted by the Thanos snap. So they were gone for 5 years, and then they came back in Endgame for the big fight against Thanos when Hulk snapped everybody back. Again, just for everybody's knowledge sake, this event is called the blip in the MCU. This is when everybody got snapped, came back. So these guys, they were gone. They were dead for 5 years. And like you said, after the fight with Thanos, 6 months later, we are now watching a show that takes place 6 months after Endgame and follows the lives of these two guys, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Bucky, the Winter Soldier, and Sam, in the MCU in a world without Captain America and a world without Iron Man. That's the premise. Pretty good. I'll give it up. This is why the show is gonna be great. Let's just talk about it. Giggler, how was episode 1 for you?
You know what? I liked it. I'm not going to say I loved it yet, but I think it does a great job of setting up where we're potentially going. Like I still have like a lot of questions on what's going to happen, but like just going to trust the process, just as we kind of learned from WandaVision. Like I feel like the first 2 episodes, everyone complained how they're a little slow, whatever. But like think about how we reacted to those next few episodes after that. Like it was just relentless madness, and I think this will probably be the same. Like this, there was a lot of action. It's kind of felt more like a movie than like WandaVision did. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this. There's going to be like multiple bad guys in this. Like I still kind of don't know what the actual plot's going to be. Like
Right.
how obviously they're separate now, but how are they going to be brought together? All that good stuff. So I'm pumped. I think it does a lot of good, like laying the groundwork for what's to come the next 5 weeks. That's what's crazy. There's only 5 more episodes.
Yeah, already 1 down.
Yeah.
PC Mike, especially at the same week as the Snyder Cut. How'd this show sit for you? You watched it yesterday.
I really enjoyed it.
You liked it.
I think it's kind of a show for like more of the casual fan too.
Yeah.
Because you can watch this first episode and just enjoy it. It's
Right.
a superhero show. I mean, there's battles. I do like how we have basically kind of like 2 timelines, not Memento style, but like we get to see the Falcon and the Winter Soldier like do their own thing. And then when they converge, like Andy said, it'll be awesome. But yeah, I thought it was action packed. I'm used to Disney having 8 minutes of credits now, so it's not that big of a letdown. But
Yeah, it's like and it's the same.
yeah, it's the same.
It's long credits.
But yeah, it was entertaining. I'm starting to care about the characters more and more. The ending, I mean, that's what people are talking about, and I'm sure we will.
Yes.
But the ending, you're like, what in the hell is going on here? I kind of see why they did it, like a symbol, but why him? Why that look?
And I think it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is here, everybody's gonna hate. We've already said spoiler alert. Everybody's gonna hate this new Captain America. And that's the whole point, I think. Because look at that smug little face. Got to plug the images from Disney Plus on our YouTube channel.
Just a punchable face.
It looks like that cartoon thing that's hanging right there in your
great.
in the
Andy.
studio here.
Now I'll have to put that up on the screen every time. Just so you guys know, every time we mention a photo, I have to put it in the show.
Hey, what about this little thing back here?
You gotta show it all.
You just start naming stuff. No, you're right. He looks just like this corny little cartoon. That mask, his stupid little grin.
He looks like the
He's got like a moon face.
the
like his
grandpa from
chin.
Up.
Yeah, he does look like the grandpa
That's the
from Up.
most accurate thing I've ever seen.
I totally echo what you guys said. I'd love to hear as kind of like the not as heavy MCU fan. I agreed. I thought like anybody can watch this and it'll just be really fun. Like it opens with that. I mean, the opening sequence, just Falcon kicking ass, flying, and just being total awesome.
Yeah, I think it's for people that want to, and I could see why this would have been the first
Yes,
thing they do.
Because who's gonna get mad at a guy flying with wings, like taking down jets and stuff?
But like as I'm on the wiki, like Flag Smashers, is that a thing?
Yeah, so
Is that like in Marvel?
that's in the Marvel lore, and this
Okay.
is what I've read. Had some help from I had Vanity Fair help us out with some Snyder Cut stuff and comic book, of course. Read a few different things, but apparently, what the writers of the show have said, I guess in some interviews, is that even the people that know who the Flag Smashers are, or may even know who this Captain America is, per the comic book lore, they're saying that they've gone like a different route,
Okay.
and that people are going to be surprised, is what they say. We'll see. Well, here, just real quick, like 3 sentences. What happens in this? I thought it'd be fun just to say, like, what happens in this? Because this is more action. It's not like WandaVision. We do not have to be reading line by line, I don't think, anymore. I think we learned some hard lessons by doing that.
We learned some very tough lessons.
Yeah, it was. So we're going to get back to the story. We're going to enjoy these movies because they're easy, and shows because they're easy to enjoy, I think. In a nutshell, we're going to break some of this open. But just in a nutshell, Sam isn't going to be Captain America. He decides, I'm not going to, and he gives his shield back to that museum. During what looks like a Captain America memorial? My first question was, has Captain America died?
True. Yeah.
Because it's like a thing with his picture up, and he was really old at the end of Endgame, and it's been 6 months.
And I didn't read this anywhere, but did you notice where Captain America was, that big picture on Sam?
On his left?
It was on his left the whole time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
I didn't read that anywhere, but I was like,
That's gonna be everywhere.
I don't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's gonna be all the time, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. But he's I don't know if they didn't confirm, but it seemed like he had died.
I don't know. I think it's something that's gonna be addressed eventually.
Okay.
the writers may have confirmed that, but I could be making that up. So don't really take that with a grain of salt, just like everything we say.
That's fair. Okay, Bucky is just trying to live a life post Winter Soldier. He's seeing a therapist. He's trying to make amends. Looks like he's like taking bad guys off a list and helping the police find them.
Using Tinder.
Using Tinder to catch him. Is that what he did?
No, he talked about using online dating.
He's at the
Oh,
bar.
yeah.
Not to
that-
catch people, but
he's
just
playing
to,
Battleship
just
with that girl.
Playing Battleship with the girl. It doesn't go too well. He makes a friend named Yori, an older Asian fella. His son dies, and Bucky's like struggling with, should I help this guy? That's what I took away. And he's trying to like go on dates and stuff. It's not really working, but he's seeing a therapist too. Talk about his bout in Wakanda. But anyway, it looks like he's just trying to live. And then there's a super soldier guy, which it looks like to me, the leader of the Flash Smashers. We meet him. He bumps into the young guy that's with Falcon at the beginning of the show. And to me, it looks like he has like super soldier strength. Like he's like kicking people clear across the street. Did you guys agree? Giggler, any thoughts?
either
on
that or mutants in the show confirmed. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I had to really think about it. I was like, but it could be.
That's a Nightcrawler kick
But it
from
could-
X-Men.
It could be. There is a close up of this guy's shot like in the show, and Falcon's looking at Sam, and I don't know who this is, but he looks strong, and they're just some kind of terrorist group. That's all we know so far.
Kind of looks like the Riddler from the new Batman that's coming out with Robert Pattinson.
The Riddler, he wears a mask like
Well,
this?
like the one of the terrorist guys in the trailer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. They had something similar.
Yeah.
And then
No connection. There's
No.
not a connection there.
not yet. Not yet. And then we do get the announcement of a new Captain America. This guy, this smug-looking guy,
What a dweeb.
and I believe this is confirmed. It's his name in the comics, but his name is John Walker, played by Wyatt Russell, and he's also known by in the comics codename U.S. Agent, is
Yep.
what he ends up being called. But right now, he is certainly being called Captain America with his smug little smile.
It's Kurt Russell's son.
Oh,
Are you
Just
serious?
Found that out today.
That's Kurt Russell's
Cannot
son.
believe that I didn't realize that.
Unbelievable. Also,
with
in
Goldie
his-
Hawn?
Yeah, I think. I guess
Goldie Hawn's in.
I gotta confirm this.
Wow.
Talk on.
Okay, let us know.
Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell are together.
Yes, they are. And Kurt Russell's in the MCU. He plays
Yep.
Star-Lord's dad, which we'll see in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, that guy's in a lot of stuff.
This
Yeah.
actor?
Yeah,
Oh,
Wyatt Russell.
He was in one of my favorite movies ever, 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, he's like the
Oh,
punchable
yeah.
blonde kid.
That's right.
He's
That's
the,
right.
Quarterback? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback of the football team.
All right.
So yeah, parents Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Oh, nice.
Remember my theory on this was that he's the pilot that shoots the missile in New York in Avengers 2012.
If that comes true,
I'm throwing it out there.
yeah.
If it ends up being true, like it's a flashback story, because we're gonna get some origin story for this guy.
Yeah.
It's gotta have to be stuff that like we might care about, I think.
Like he did some bad stuff, and now he's like,
yeah.
got to fall on the sword. You have to be this Captain America guy.
Maybe, or he's just an inherently bad dude and is just always doing the evil thing. I don't know.
I'm just gonna go with that. He has a super. Obviously, he's gonna have strength. He's not just gonna be some normal dude.
You think he's got abilities
I think that
and he's strong?
he's gonna have the serum in him, same as the Flag Smasher guy.
Oh man. He's also got the shield.
Yeah.
He's got the actual shield. And man, I'll tell you this: Sam looked pissed.
Yeah.
Sitting in Del LaCroix, Louisiana.
If your missile thing is right, I
That's
will
where he is with his family.
chug 3 beers on air. So
Promise?
Yeah.
All right, deal.
start with this one.
I just had to take a drink.
If you do nail that, like out of everything,
It's a random one to call, so it's like again.
I mean, we might learn about it in 28 years.
That's right. What else we got? Okay, so like I mentioned, Sam's family is in Del LaCroix, Louisiana. We meet his sister. So Sam again has been gone for 5 years. It looks like his family's been here making it work. He shows up and he's just trying to be Mr. Hero, solving all the problems.
Doesn't
Really?
want to sell the boat.
Doesn't want to sell the boat. She's like, you don't know what's happening. They try to get a loan. They fail. Even though he's Falcon. And this is where we learn
Made me
that
so mad.
he's like, didn't they pay you? And he's like, not really. Essentially. Like
Just
the
works for
Avengers,
free.
the Avengers just weren't getting paid. And there's other jokes about that. In Avengers Age of Ultron, Sam is asking Cap, he's like, you going to get a place in Brooklyn? And Cap's like, I don't think I can afford a place in Brooklyn. Like, you're Captain America. You can't afford an apartment, and now like Sam's struggling.
I guess I can understand why the loan officer guy was kind of so taken back by that, because
He fought
it is weird.
Thanos.
But
He fought against Thanos.
You need to have like people skills though, and realize that you look at their financial statements in front of you, and either like, oh, you haven't had income for 5 years, like,
How-
please.
I got blipped.
And he goes, yeah. He goes, me and millions of billions of people.
Yeah, so I think that obviously that's going to be a big part.
There
of
should
the
be like
show.
a blip clause
yeah.
if you're getting
Sure.
loans.
Yeah, I was like, how is this not already solved? But it was a smaller town bank in
Like
Del LaCroix. I
like
don't
you
know if
have
I'm saying
to-
that right, but
You have to like carry around a card, like a CDC vaccination card, but it's a blip card.
It-
I was blipped.
it was an issue in Spider-Man. We'll find out Far From Home. It's not really a spoiler, but like they struggle with it too. Like one of the kids is, it looks like he's over 21, so he's getting served alcohol. But they're like, hey, he's only 16.
He was blipped for 5 years.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you're right, Andy. I think it'll be like an ongoing thing. All right, and yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked how they opened it up. Like you said, they're both separate right now. Sam's going through stuff with his family. Bucky's trying to live his life, and they're gonna come together in something. I really wasn't sure what was going on with that guy, Yori, I think his name was, the guy that his son died. Did you pick up on what was going on?
It took me the second watch to get it, but Bucky killed his son. That's the scene
Mm-hmm.
of him going.
Oh, and then he.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why he's feeling guilty.
Yeah.
And he wants to make amends.
Yeah. So that's. I
Oh
think
my gosh!
that whole
Good
scene
job, dude.
with-
I had no idea.
Yeah, when he was on the date, I think the whole point of that scene was to show that like she's asking why he's wearing gloves, why
Yeah.
this and that, and it's just like to show that like no one knows who he is, and like he has this dark past. He like makes that joke about he's 106 years old, and she
Yeah, I
just
was like,
laughs.
this lady literally doesn't know he's Winter Soldier.
Yeah, no one does. So that's the thing. Like he's
That's the
sitting there
thing.
talking to this guy, and I guess that's his like, yeah, that changes everything in your brain, doesn't it? Like he's
yeah,
just like
yeah. Well,
going to lunch with this guy, helping him out.
I figured that out. I was like, these people don't really know him. But I was like, but where is he? Do you guys remember where he is?
I can't remember.
That's the question. Is where is he?
Yeah.
But it looked like he was in the United States. He's got like a American.
Kind of look. I'm just like New York almost to me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because he was like in the streets when he
Yeah.
like got that car to do the thing. He was just in the city. Might just be like in Chinatown or something. I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, if he's in New
Yeah.
York or something. Okay.
I have no idea, but it's just like, yeah, that's sad. Like he's just kind of dealing with it. Like he knows he has so much guilt. Like you said about Stark in Civil War, like just so much guilt about what they had done in the past, and he's kind of like dealing with it on camera for us to see now. Like we haven't really seen. That's a side of him that we really haven't seen much of. I feel like.
Well, and the therapist helps us all out too. She says you don't really have a history. You don't you don't like have any friends because he's been going from one fight to the other. And again, he says, the only peace and quiet I got was when I was in Wakanda. And you could tell that he like appreciated that. I really hope they show some flashbacks.
Very creepy. Her going through his phone though.
Yeah, going
Like, give me
through-
your phone. Let
and
me check
also-
your text.
Here's the other question too. She kind of explains it, but it's like he's a civilian now, and the world has said like we're aware of your past, so this is why you're required to come talk to me, is to make sure you're not a danger to anyone. So is that what?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah.
It wasn't like because at first I thought like, is he working for a government thing, and this is the government psychiatrist? No, he's just required by law to see somebody.
And yeah, he's got that list. That's kind of I think it's a callback to Captain America's list that he was making of just like the things he needs to catch up on.
Oh yeah, I
And,
was thinking that, or the
like a-
callback to the book in Civil War, that red book. Maybe he was because I
Yeah.
feel like he's going after like old criminals.
Yeah, for sure. Zemo's name was on the list. I paused it on it to
Good
check
job.
some things, and
Wow,
there
Andy.
is some. There definitely is some kind of Easter egg type names on there. Not that I could, besides Zemo, that I could identify directly. But if you look up anyone that wants to look up the names,
Mm-hmm.
you can see
They're
the
on there.
connections that they have in the past to his character and what kind of happens.
All right,
So,
all right.
yeah, that's spoiler-free review there.
I like that. Appreciate it. And we already talked about the new Captain America, but we'll find out what goes on with him. The info I got earlier on the actor and whatnot was from goodhousekeeping.com. Appreciate you guys that. The links to our references will be in today's episode description. So if you want to read more on any of this stuff, just go check that out, and that link will be there for you. Wow, this was episode 1 of 6, 5 to go. Excited for episode 2 next week. I think that they did a great job. It feels like Marvel.
Mhm.
Like the action is there, the looks are there, and I just am so excited about this whole new world that's really in the future again. It's 5 years. it's just, it feels like anything can happen. Who knows where these stories will go? Who is this leader of the Red Hand Gang or whatever? What are they called?
Flag stompers.
Flag
Smashers.
Flag Smashers. Who is this guy? And how will Sam eventually? We've seen some promo materials of him like throwing the shield, practicing, like in the trailer. So I feel like he ends up with this shield at some point.
Yeah.
He's obviously visibly upset about this new Captain America. He's like, should have took him.
Yeah.
Should have took the.
Rhodey's
Rhodey
equally pissed at him too. You
Didn't
could
even
tell.
really talk about Rhodey. Love that they brought him in. It's like it mixes the worlds of Captain America and Iron Man into a TV show.
Mhm.
Like here's James Rhodes, the guy from Iron Man 2. He's in this TV show now. So cool. He's like, hey man, why didn't you take the mantle? His excuse is so lame. It's just like he's just not stepping up.
It felt like it belonged to someone else. It
Yeah.
made me really think like this show. I mean, do you guys think that this show is leading to like one of them to actually becoming Captain America at the end?
Like
Yes.
basically crowning him.
Well,
I think he will be. This is his journey to be Captain America, I believe, by the end of the show.
Like episode 1. Like, I mean, do you think it could be Bucky though? Isn't there comic like lore where he was Captain America or becomes Captain America? Or, I'm
I
sure
think
they
so.
Both have. Like, I don't really know.
I think that it could happen, or maybe some form of that. And I think there's definitely gonna be like both of them using the shield at a certain point. It's gonna be probably some fun stuff with that. But I mean, Captain America told Falcon it's him. He told Sam that it's yours. Like,
Yeah.
If anybody can pass the mantle, isn't it? It's Captain America.
I agree. Don't bitch out, Sam.
Yeah, show up. And now look, now someone else has the shield, so it's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts on Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I took some notes. So I'm just gonna
Please,
just
hit
fly through some of those. But did you guys notice that the villain that was in the plane at the beginning in that scene he was from the Winter Soldier movie, Baltrock the Leaper?
Yes, the guy that Captain America fights hand to hand in the Winter Soldier,
Yes.
like in the first 15 minutes on that ship.
Yeah, he's like a former UFC fighter. So I was like, that guy looks familiar, and I had to look it up, and I guess
He's the guy that says, "I thought you were more than a shield," and Cap puts down his shield, takes off his hat, and kicks his ass.
yes, exactly.
Yes,
But yeah,
okay.
in the comics, he's like a experienced like mercenary kickboxer, and like I feel like his name is Batroc the Leaper, and he jumps out of 2 planes, so he earned his name. CBD
Yeah.
if he's alive. I mean, he was going down pretty hard out of that plane,
Yes,
and those squirrel suits are stressful.
flying through
yes.
the caves, canyons, and mountains, and that was awesome.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty cool to see like Avengers in public like get called out, like when Sam was like, what, I don't know if that was a coffee shop or whatever, wherever
Yeah.
he was, and the guy thanked him for like saving his wife. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some callbacks to Captain America, like I said, with that list. And then like when Falcon jumps from the plane, he just falls backwards out of it. That's definitely a callback to Captain America and Avengers, and he's probably done that multiple times
Yeah.
on screen. So
And it looked awesome.
yeah, and also Bucky talks about not having danced since 1943. That's kind of a callback to like
All the dancing.
yeah, all the
Mhm.
like the scenes. Like I think we talked about a few episodes ago about him talking to Peggy Carter, saying like hitting on her jokingly, like in one of the first before her and Cap like actually kind of got their full romance or whatever. So
And he does have a lot of baggage. Like, who's he gonna date?
I don't know.
It's gonna be tough.
It's fun.
Maybe he'll go back and pull what Captain America
don't
did
know.
and marry some girl in the 50s.
Yeah, I mean he's a good looking guy. Like come on, just like hey,
Oh, yeah.
hope you don't mind guys with metal arms.
Yeah, and he's like yeah.
Also, I'll never take my
Whoa.
gloves off.
It's like
Swan.
it's like cold.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
That's all I got.
nice. PC Mike, any final thoughts on the show?
I just
Any predictions or anything? You guys can
It-
do that. We don't have to do predictions every time. Like, we got 5 to go.
it just makes me excited because now they're all going to be a little different. It's not going to get stale. Like WandaVision was so out there, then this is totally different than WandaVision. So Loki's next, I think that's going to be totally different. Like
Unbelievable.
at least
I had already forgotten.
they're keeping it fresh.
So did I.
I think they're keeping it fresh. So
That's well said. Well said. Man, it's so fun. I can't believe this. So yeah, after this, we'll have Loki, and then we have Black Widow, and just and then. We know.
Black
know.
Widow will probably be pushed back a couple years.
Yeah, they pushed it 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we can't wait. 5 more to go. So much fun. I think the first one was a hit. We're here for it. And let us know what you think. If you write us in before next week, we'd love to feature you during our review, during the meet of The Falcon, the Winter Soldier. We're going to take a quick break. Next up, it is time to change up multiverses. Head over to the DC universe and talk all about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Stick around. We'll be right back.